Okay, we are back down flat on the table. This is no longer a necessary part of the situation, so I'll remove it. I did draw on these holes a little bit with a clean syringe to try and pull some rubber, but after a while I gave up on that, and everything's moving slowly because over time each of these batches has been consecutively mixed. So the earliest material is gelled, it's called, so it's not moving or flowing anymore, though it's not cured, it's gelled. And the most recently mixed material is more fluid. I'm just seeing the silicone making it out of these holes. I had a little touch-up batch here. I reached the calculated amount, and I wasn't quite sure of where I would get with that, so I made a dab in a small cup, and I'm just keeping this topped off, because what this represents is like a hopper or a reservoir. I will end up trimming the jacket. I'll end up trimming the jacket down a little bit, but I maintained the total height for the matrix pouring process because it's quite a bit higher than everywhere else here. And even though these are quite high, to have a 1/4 of an inch, every amount of volume above the height where I'm indicating, or I'm seeing indications of the cavity being filled, every amount taller than that I can be is desirable, because that volume is working for me in pushing the volume to these limits, to these locations. The shorter this gets, the less volume I'm able to add at any time and use pressure, or rely on pressure to drive the material out here. If I could have or wanted to, I could have built this taller, or I simply could have hot glued a cup or something on here in a reliable way that I could load and use gravity to my advantage to fill. But this has worked out just fine, and that's just a product of 50% experience and 50% luck. I'm still not certain that this hasn't got gaps in it. I'm fairly certain, but nobody's ever certain until the fat lady sings or the jacket comes off. So, what does that mean? There's a dab in the cup. I'm going to keep maintaining this level over the next 45 minutes or so. I just keep checking in on it. And it ultimately almost used an entire... Where's the bottom? Right there. I mean, there's maybe... What is that, a 1/10? So 9/10 of a gallon kit ended up going in there. So, I mean, we're talking about, with shipping, more than $100 in rubber, just in material cost, and a full day of someone's time spent, full 8 hours involved with the process. So this is how, again, to touch on some billing, for some of you who are billing your time or doing a professional project in that sense. A professional meaning paid to do it. That's all it takes to be called a professional. Not to diminish a professional, but to make sure that people remember to charge for their time. And don't forget this time spent. It's important. But basically we're full, or we hope that it's full, and when it's cured tomorrow we will have a look.